Hey everyone, my name is King Zoroark and welcome to my Catching All 1025 Pokemon Challenge. This video is going to serve as a complete overview of the entire series, the rules I'm following, the equipment I'm using, how I'm tracking progress, and how the uploads will work, whether you want to play along or you're just curious what it actually takes to catch them all. One important thing to mention right away, this is an ongoing series. If or when Game Freak releases a new Pokemon generation, I'll be making a new video completing a Living Dex for those games as well. But before we get into the rules, let's clarify what catching all 1025 Pokemon actually means. For this challenge, every unique Pokédex entry is required, regional forms like Alolan, Galarian, Hisuian, and Paldean Pokemon do count, cosmetic only differences like gender variations are not required unless they affect evolution, and shiny Pokemon are not required, but if I find one, naturally I'm going to catch it. Now let's get into the rules. For this challenge, I'm completing a full Living Origin Dex. If you're unfamiliar with the term, a Living Origin Dex means that each Pokemon must be caught in the earliest possible game it was introduced in. For example, Pikachu was introduced in Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. Even though Pikachu appears in many later games, it must be caught in Generation 1 for this challenge. Remakes like Fire Red and Leaf Green, or Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee don't count since they're not considered Generation 1 games. On top of that, I've added an extra rule. Every Pokemon that isn't event exclusive must be caught in a standard Pokeball. Next, each Pokemon must be trained and evolved in its origin generation. That means I can't take advantage of modern mechanics like EXP candies or later quality of life features to make things easier. The only exception to this rule is Generation 1, since breeding didn't exist in Red, Blue, and Yellow. For version exclusive Pokemon, trading between my own copies of the game is allowed, but no outside trades will be used. When it comes to mythical Pokemon, I will always obtain them through legitimate, officially available methods. If a mythical is no longer obtainable in its original generation, I'll catch it in a newer game where it was legally distributed. Finally, I cannot use cheats or abuse glitches. This includes hacking in missed event Pokemon. Since my entire Living Dex will ultimately live in Pokemon Home, everything has to be legitimate. That said, these are my rules. If you want to attempt this challenge yourself, feel free to adjust them. Older Pokemon games are expensive, some software is no longer obtainable, and I genuinely love to see someone complete this challenge using only the Switch Pokemon games. Now, let's talk about the equipment you'll need. And yes, this is the part where your wallet will start crying. For Generations 1 and 2, you'll need 2 Nintendo 3DS systems with virtual console copies of Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, Gold, Silver, and Crystal. Alternatively, you can use the original cartridges. There are also newer transfer methods like Pokétransporter GB and Trade Buddy, which allow Pokemon to move from Generation 1 and 2 into later generations. I haven't tested these myself yet, but I may make a future video covering them. For Generation 3, you'll need 2 Game Boy Advance systems, a link cable with a copy of Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, as well as a copy of the Pokemon Coliseum bonus disc. For Generations 4 and 5, you will need 2 Nintendo DS systems with a copy of Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Pokemon Ranger, Black, White, Black 2, or White 2. For Generations 6 and 7, you will need 2 Nintendo 3DS systems, a copy of X and Y, Pokemon Omega Ruby or Alpha Sapphire, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, as well as Pokemon Go. For Generation 8 and onward, you will need 2 Nintendo Switch or Nintendo Switch 2 systems, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, Pokemon Sword and Shield, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, both Pokemon Legend games, and all the DLC for those games. You'll also need Pokébank, Pokétransporter, and Pokemon Home. I should note that Pokemon Go, Pokemon Ranger, and the Coliseum bonus disc are technically optional thanks to later games and DLC. If you missed out on Pokemon Bank or Transporter, they can still be obtained through modding, which I can't explain here, but there are plenty of guides online. One final optional item I use is an event distribution cartridge for Generations 3 through 5. I bought mine on Etsy a while ago, and it allows access to old event Pokemon that are otherwise unobtainable today. This isn't required, especially since Generations 4 and 5 event Pokemon can still be obtained using the DNS exploit method, but I found this cartridge to be much easier to use, especially since some modern Wi-Fi setups don't support the older Wi-Fi configurations of the games. Now that I've officially made your wallet cry, let's talk about how we're going to track our progress. In the description, I've linked the website called PokédexApp.net. It's a free tool that lets you track every Pokemon you've caught, the regional forms, alternate forms, and the shiny status of the Pokemon. At the end of every episode, I'll show the current Pokédex progress and what Pokemon are coming up next. As for the uploads, each video will cover 3 generations at a time and will continue until the challenge is complete. Once everything is finished, I'll upload a full Pokemon home transfer video, release a mega compilation movie combining every generation. I may also stream some of the playthroughs while I'm actively catching the Pokemon. That's everything for now. Let me know in the comments if you plan on attempting this challenge with me, and if you're looking forward to the series. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, take care.